There's a famous quote in the chamber world is that the health of a chamber reflects the wealth of a community. The past 2 years, we've grown significantly, so that really shows that the community itself is growing very well economically.
When you see your projects being built out and they kind of go in line with the growth that you were predicting, it makes you feel good that you're working with your partners correctly and you're trying to get things right.
Opportunity as we look at the future of this institution. We're the only university in the United States that has its own island. We are leaders in coastal marine sciences, we're leaders in health science, we're leaders in drones, and a lot of technologies that are the future of this country.
We've got a lot of development opportunities coming up that we're really excited about. Continue to develop economic growth. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is just how can we use this 2,400 acres to the fullest and best use.
So there's a significant amount of interest for people to come down here and enjoy the Texas coast. It's a great time to be on the Texas coast, and we're glad to be here and be a part of it.
So there's a lot of opportunity to see continued growth, not only in tourism, but the amount of people that are wanting to move to Corpus Christi because of the unique lifestyle, because of the natural attractions and the natural environment that Corpus Christi has with our beaches and with our islands. This is the place that people want to be.
The Harbor Bridge project, it's a $1 billion project, will replace the old Harbor Bridge structure that had a clearance of 137 feet. This new bridge will now have a clearance of 205 feet, which allows for larger vessels to come into the harbor and the port area, spurring economic activity in the area. Currently, we have the construction project that's ongoing on South Powder Island Drive. It's what we call the ramp reversal project. It's a $55 million construction project. It's being done to ease congestion at their major intersections and actually kind of facilitate traffic on the frontage roads for retail. And then when that's complete, next year we're starting another ramp reversal project on South Powder Island Drive that's going to go from Staple Street to Nile. That's a $38 million project, probably take a couple years to finish that as well. But same concept there is to alleviate traffic at the major intersections and help facilitate traffic along the frontage roads as well. We have a State Highway 286 project extension, which is crosstown, an extension project that will be going out to construction within the next year as well. Current construction project on Nueces River Bridge, and that's on Interstate 37. We're raising the profile on the bridge there for resiliency and to prevent against any storm surge that we may have in the future. We have a number of projects that are either in construction or planned to be in construction within the next 2 years on our US 77 corridor. So why is that important for Corpus Christi? Well, that US 77 corridor is future Interstate 69. So we're building these projects to get them interstate ready. There's 50 miles there that we'll either have in interstate standard ready for I-69 shield or under construction within the next 2 years. So that's a huge milestone for us to have. We spend tens of millions of dollars on our roadways, just make sure we maintain the facilities that we have, our roadways, our bridges, our illumination, our traffic signals, our signage. All of that goes into play with what we do yearly. Again, it's just working in great partnership with the City of Corpus Christi to be able to identify the locations that we need to prioritize these dollars for construction projects. I think it's been working really well with the current administration that we have in place, and I think that the future holds nothing but bright things for us.
The Port of Corpus Christi has been an active contributor to the economic development of the coastal bend for over 100 years. More than 1/3 of the jobs in the Corpus Christi metro area are generated by port activities. That translates to more than 98,000 jobs right here in the coastal bend. The impact of the Port of Corpus Christi can be attributed to leadership's philosophy of operating as a business and focusing on developing the infrastructure to support large-scale projects and attract new business to the region. This approach aligns with the Port of Corpus Christi's vision to be the energy port of the Americas and facilitate its mission of leading industry while upholding its commitment to reinvest in surrounding communities and environmental stewardship. As a testament of that commitment, the U.S. Department of Energy in 2023 recommended that the Port of Corpus Christi submit an application for federal funding to support the Horizons Clean Hydrogen Hub, which will not only maximize the benefit of federal and private investment, but will connect large-scale clean hydrogen production throughout Texas. If awarded, this hub is expected to provide upskilling, training and education opportunities for the existing energy sector workforce, and create more than 21,000 construction jobs and over 1,800 high-paying, high-quality jobs in South Texas and West Permian Basin counties. The Port of Corpus Christi currently generates a total economic impact of $6 billion for the Corpus Christi region alone, not to mention $40 billion for the state of Texas and $400 billion for the United States. The Port of Corpus Christi remains committed to traditional fuel sources that have powered its growth for the past century and rendered it the nation's leading gateway for crude oil exports and number 2 gateway for liquefied natural gas. As the Port of Corpus Christi continues to evolve, it will continue to reinvest in the region through the Community Development Fund in order to support economic growth, educational opportunities, and workforce development. In 2022, the Port of Corpus Christi Commission approved the allocation of more than $5 million, the largest amount in the history of the port, to support nonprofits, schools, and other community organizations. The Port of Corpus Christi's most important project in our 100-year history, the Channel Improvement Project, received project closeout in 2023 with over $157 million from the federal government. With this project closeout, we will complete all 4 phases, taking our channel depth from 47 feet to 54 feet. The increased depth will allow for greater volumes of cargo and various types of commodities to move through our waterway. As of May 2023, the Port of Corpus Christi ranked number 1 in the nation in total revenue tonnage, closing its first quarter of 2023 with a record tonnage of 49.6 million tons, surpassing the year-over-year period in 2022 by more than 6 million tons. In 2021, the Port of Corpus Christi donated $2.5 million to help fund the aquarium's new Port of Corpus Christi Wildlife Rescue Center. In 2022, the Port of Corpus Christi established the Portable Learning Lab to promote STEM education and careers using innovative and interactive technology for students across the coastal bend. The Port of Corpus Christi will remain a leader of traditional energy exports, but is embracing the energy transition era. The Port of Corpus Christi is focused on economic development in concert with our surrounding communities. Through calm seas and choppy waters, the Port of Corpus Christi safely and responsibly guides stakeholders and the region it supports.
Tourism in Corpus Christi is the second largest economy in the region, and it employs over 28,000 people in the region. So it's a huge economic driver for the community. Those workers also take care of over 10 million visitors per year that are coming to the region. And those visitors spend $1.5 billion a year. So when you look at the tax implications of what those visitors bring to the community, it's very large. Our mission is to create a better community by sharing Corpus Christi with the world, which means that we have a very robust marketing, advertising, and public relations campaign. That campaign does not just reach throughout Texas, it actually reaches throughout the entire country and even into some international countries as well. So as we continue to grow the brand of what Corpus Christi has to offer, that continues to resonate with people, and we see people coming from farther away than we have in years past. The main thing that we do is we are looking at it as our responsibility to tell the world all of the greatness that Corpus Christi has and why they should want to be here as well. We spend a lot of time working with developers and working with our partners in the region to determine what types of things that Corpus Christi needs to continue to grow, whether it is more hotels, attractions, improvements to a convention center, and we try to help identify developers that might have an interest in doing things like that. It's something that can really be transformative to our region as travelers start to look at combining their business trips with their vacations. Corpus Christi is the perfect destination where people will be able to do both. When you look at those individuals that stay in hotels and in the short-term rental market, we've seen almost 30% growth in the last 5 years. We've started 2 new initiatives. The first one would be the Corpus Christi Sports Commission, and their job is to grow the competitive sports ecosystem. Corpus Christi has world-class water sports. We look to capitalize on that by bringing large groups of people here for tournaments and festivals and events and so forth. The Film and Music Commission is something that we just started recently, and their whole job is to promote Corpus Christi as a film location and a place for music and entertainment. And when you look at Texas as a state and the number of people that are moving from other states into Texas, Corpus Christi is the largest coastal destination in Texas, and we partner with the city government and the city staff as well to try to bring those individuals to the community, educate them on why they should want to build something in our area that will help everybody.
A&M Corpus Christi has a direct impact on the economy. Annually, it's about $652 million. We bring 11,000 students into our community, families visiting, friends visiting, so that tourism that comes with that. And so we know that when new businesses and corporations are looking to come into the Coastal Bend, they're looking for a highly educated workforce. Of course, we work very hard to keep that potential, that workforce development opportunity here in the Coastal Bend so that they're contributing to whatever the future brings. But we also are engaged in research and innovation and entrepreneurship here on our campus. We're one of only 7 UAS FAA test sites in the country, so we specialize in drones. We're working with the Corpus Christi Regional Economic Development Corporation to bring drone headquarters to Corpus Christi, drone businesses, whether that's manufacturing or on the other side with, for example, training and emergency management. So that creates a unique opportunity for the Coastal Bend to bring in innovative industry and technology to our region. Our Hart Research Institute for Gulf of Mexico Studies is a leader nationally. Our environmental science program, for example, is ranked top 10 in the nation. Our nursing master's program was just ranked top 10 in the nation. So we have some outstanding academic programs. So they're at the cutting edge of the technologies out there medically and work very closely with the hospitals to keep them in our region. We are working collectively with many entities around the city to make Corpus Christi the place, not only the state of Texas comes for emergency management training, but we hope sometime soon the nation. We are looking at developing a multi-purpose community center on our campus. That center will allow small events to go into this arena. And what's really exciting about that is it'll allow the American Bank Center and conferences to really have plenty of space to grow and bring in great big events, and we can pick up the small events. We would also gear towards some of that sports tourism and some of those industries, dance competitions and cheer competitions, e-gaming competitions, bringing in, of course, basketball and volleyball tournaments. So those are some opportunities we think will capture sports tourism, which will be great, but that also brings, again, people into our community looking at what we have to offer, thinking about coming to the Coastal Bend. For Division I athletics, we won 8 championships this year, and so very, very successful in that arena. Of course, as Division I, we're in the NCAA tournaments when we win, and that brings national recognition to our community. Corpus Christi is developing its quality of place, so it is somewhere that really is attractive to young populations so that we can grow our workforce. We think all of these things not only will attract people to the community in terms of being students, but also attract them to stay once they graduate and continue to develop their own entrepreneurial ideas or engage in these other businesses that we hope we can support.
What's going on here at Whitecap is 240-acre development. We are investing anywhere from $650 to $800 million. It's a Bay to Gulf community where we are connecting Laguna Madre to the Gulf of Mexico through our canal systems. We'll have 640 single-family residential lots on those canals, about 40 acres of canal water, and about a 40-acre public-private park in the middle of the community that will have freshwater ponds. That includes a marina, which will have a dry stack storage for boats, ship store, clubhouse. We have pools and other community amenities within the community itself. We are studying and hope to have about 150 key hotel, 4-star, 5-star hotel down here that will kind of anchor the hospitality side of the living in the community. On the island itself, there's a lot of growth happening. There's a flight to the coast. People are looking for second home opportunities within a 5 to 6 hour driving distance, and the coast is it right now. The architecture will be different than anything you see on this island or on the coast in this magnitude. We're bringing kind of a mini downtown as part of our community, which will have restaurants, as I mentioned, a ship store, some retail. We're in the place-making business, and not only will we make a place for our residents, but the place for all residents to come in to the community and enjoy the water and enjoy the retail and the restaurants. I just think the energy, the new owners that come out here are going to introduce an energy to this island that they haven't seen in this magnitude ever. Because this is about a 5 to 10 year project from cradle to finish, and there's more to come. Developers follow developers and they follow success. Short-term rentals, they passed an ordinance for that recently that helps our investors, or the guys that buy the homes here, be able to rent their homes when they're not using them to help absorb the cost. And that's tremendous. That's been Port A's success over the last 5 to 10 years. And now Corpus is going to be able to, experience that. And I think the city has done a great job of setting up the tools for developers like us to come in by creating PID districts, TERS, the tools that help attract developers. The city has done a great job over the last few years creating to attract good development.
As a Chamber of Commerce, essentially economic development is completely in our wheelhouse. Small businesses join our organization to have tools in our toolkit that we can help them grow, advocate for their interests, and help them with their needs. Currently, this chamber is in the midst of our strategic planning. We're looking to grow the next 5 years. What does that look like for us as a business organization? Right now, currently, we're at 1,200 members, hoping to grow up to 2,000 as the economy continues to grow in the coastal bend. As much as we continue to promote and recruit big industry, the backbone of our economy continues to be small businesses. And so these small businesses are the employers of our community. They contribute to the tax base through their own business and through their employees living in the coastal bend. The United Chamber of Commerce is one of few across the nation that's been able to merge their city's chamber and their Hispanic chamber. And right now we're telling a very unique story as one organization. Both of us sharing a combined history of over 108 years old, and we continue to do the great work of economic development in the coastal bend. The mechanics and economics of the coastal bend are changing as the harbor bridge is going to be completed, and so we're going to need to see what kind of industry needs to be enhanced or supported. It's exciting times in the coastal bend. The growth that we can expect is going to be exponential. The policies that we put in place and that we continue to monitor are very responsible for economic viability for small businesses. This is where the Texas of tomorrow is going to continue to thrive.
The Corpus Christi International Airport, as part of a city department, we're self-reliant. We're called an enterprise fund, so we have to generate all of our own revenue. We've got a lot of development opportunities coming up that we're really excited about. We have a new fuel station going in right at the entrance of the terminal. And as soon as that's developed, we'll be issuing an RFP for a hotel right next door to that property. So just a lot of exciting things going on at the airport. We'll get a fuel flowage fee, and then we'll get a percentage of gross rent off of anything sold in the store. Those funds, we're going to set aside a portion of those funds for more economic development out in front. We're thinking about things like a dry cleaners, or maybe a couple of restaurants even smaller, like a Panera Bread or something like that. We're thinking about our pet drop-off place, so when you go out of town, you can drop your pet. So things that you think about you need when you're going to the airport or coming home from a trip, right? That's what we're trying to focus on. Currently, we have about $25 million worth of capital investment going on in the terminal. That's restroom renovations, new jet bridges on all 5 of our gates. We also have roof replacement going on, and then a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, the HVAC systems, things like that. We're getting ready to rebuild all of our restaurants and concessions, and the winning bidder is putting in $1.6 million of capital investment in those projects as well. We'll have an outdoor patio, which will be a little bit more seating for people, about 300 days of sunshine, so we want to really let people enjoy the sunshine here. We've added a lot of new lighting, a lot of new seating. We're going to have 100% power in every seat in the gate areas by the end of 2025. What we're trying to do is to develop an experience for our customers that's unlike any other airport that they go to. It's like the outdoor patio, the new food vendors that'll be coming in, a lot of local vendors and talent that'll be coming in and opening up restaurants and coffee shops and different things in the terminal. So from a passenger experience standpoint, it's going to change the whole look and feel of the terminal. And I think our customers will really enjoy the new amenities. So as we add flights, we call passengers to get on a plane an enplanement. And as our enplanements increase, we get additional funding from the FAA. We also will see a rise in businesses moving to the area. Getting the air service will be huge for the city. And I think once we get that first new airline, other airlines will see how successful it was, and it'll just continue to grow. We should be finished with all of our capital improvements inside the terminal in about 18 months. As far as the air service development goes, we do have a grant from the government for about $1.4 million that's going to help us attract that airlines. They won't have as much risk, right? So if they want 80% load factors, but they're only getting 75%, then we'll make up that other 5% with that grant. So we're sharing that with the airlines right now. There's some community involvement going on with that. Continue to develop economic growth. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is just how can we use this 2,400 acres to the fullest and best use?